Hello folks, welcome to session number 3 of this Blender training series. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just launching Blender with audio disabled. I'm using Blender 2.56a beta that's available officially from the Blender website. Okay, so in this class we are going to learn more about the 3D view tools like proportional editing tools and snapping tools. Okay, and also a little bit about the sculpting tools. Okay, quick introduction to the sculpting tools. All right, so let's get started. I'll first delete the default cube. To delete an object, you can go to object menu in the 3D view header and go to delete. So the hotkey for delete is X. Okay, and then you delete. Yeah, so now let's add a grid object. Okay, add mesh and grid. Okay, so you'll notice that in the 3D view tool shelf, okay, you get the add grid operator properties. Okay, so using this uh, properties you can change like the scale of the grid that we have added. Okay, and the number of subdivisions of the grid. Okay, in order to see the subdivisions we have to go to the wireframe mode. So you'll see that it's still not showing the 10 by 10 subdivisions. So to do that, let's go to the 3D view properties and display and click all edges. Okay, so now you see the 10 subdivisions. So let's increase it to, okay, 40, say 64. Okay, you can control C and control V to copy paste. Okay, control C and control V. Okay, or yeah, so that's how you copy. You'll notice that you need to click all edges again to see this. Okay, so this is the operator parameters. Okay, once I say select this lamp and move the lamp. Okay, now we lost the operator parameters for the grid object. Okay, so so now I translated the lamp, so I see the properties for the translation for the lamp. Okay, so that's about it. Okay, so let's go back to, let's undo this. Okay, select a grid object. Okay, first thing we are going to learn is the proportional editing mode. Okay, before that let me hide my camera and the lamp. So I go to my outliner and just hide the lamp and hide the camera, right? And also I'll just hide the grid floor and also these axes, right? So we have this, and let me just collapse this. Just click and right, now let's go to the edit mode. Okay, and deselect all the vertices. Okay, so the hotkey for select deselect all is A. Okay, then I'll right click and select this vertex. Okay, and then um, move the vertex. So move the vertex by pressing the G key on the keyboard and moving the mouse. Okay, so you'll notice that just this one vertex is moving, right? So let me cancel this operation by pressing the right mouse button. Now let's enable the proportional editing mode. Okay, Okay, we'll talk about this connected later during modeling, but for now just enable. And let's now move this selected vertex again. Okay, so you'll notice that you see this circle. So that circle is the circle of influence. Okay, for this translation. Okay, I can scroll the mouse using the scroll wheel to control the area of influence of this movement. Okay, yeah, and I just cancelled by pressing the escape key and move it again. Okay, so there you go. Okay, now there are different types of so let me left click to add this translation. There are different types of fall-offs. Okay, proportional editing fall-offs, smooth fall-off, sphere fall-off, root fall-off. Okay, so as we are um, doing this action by pressing the shift and O key, you can change the type of this uh, proportional fall off. You'll also see uh, a text in the 3D view header. Okay, now we are using the sharp fall off. So there you go. So linear fall off, constant fall off, okay, and smooth fall off and sphere fall off, so on and so forth. Okay, so let me use okay, like a smooth fall off and add this. Okay, so just play around with these different fall offs. There is also a random fall off. It'll just randomly, you know, move the vertices in the area of influence. Okay, so that's about the proportional editing tools. Okay, let me turn it off since I'm done with using the proportional editing. The next thing we are going to do, and going back to my object mode. So yeah, as I was saying, the next thing we are going to do is learn about the sculpting tools to quickly add more deformations on this terrain. Okay, let me name my object as terrain. Okay, I went to the properties editor type and then chose the object context and say terrain. Okay, all right, now let's go to the sculpt mode. Okay, so you'll notice that the mouse pointer has changed. You see this red circle, so that's the brush. To see the properties you need to expand this, the brush properties. Okay, so like tool shelf and unhide the tool shelf. Okay, so basically we are using the sculpt draw brush, okay, which is the default. Okay, let's use the default, and this is the radius. Okay, this is the radius and this is the strength of the brush. So yeah, I'm just drawing this here. Let me choose a subtract mode and just make some deformations. Okay, again we'll learn more about sculpting when we do modeling, but for now just use the simple default tool and just make some changes to the mesh. Okay, if you want to enable a subtract mode without actually clicking this button, you can hold down control and then draw. Okay, there you go. Okay, and maybe let's use a smooth brush to just smooth out these things. All right, okay, right, so let's get back to the object mode. Okay, so we have like something like a terrain. Okay, and now let's smooth the mesh. So you have smooth shading. Okay, so while in smooth shading, if you want to see the wireframe, right, So let's try clicking this wire. There you go. Okay, wire button. Let me hide the tool shelf and enable properties. So if I turn off all edges, still works. Okay, yeah. So sometimes Blender tries to optimize the 3D view performance by not drawing the internal edges. So in that case, you can come to the object properties buttons and enable it. Okay, cool. So that's about sculpting, right? Now the next thing is to create objects. Okay, I'm using the select deselect hotkey A. Okay, so you'll see that as I'm using these operators here, the operator parameters are shown. Okay, um, cool. So now let's add a cone object. Okay, let's add a cone object. Now we will add the cone object um, in a second layer. Okay, so right now this object, okay, is in the first layer. So I'm going to the second layer. Okay, and in fact let's not get into layers this time around. Okay, we will add everything in the first layer. Okay, sorry about that. So add mesh and cone. Okay, so you'll see that we have a cone object. Okay, the cone object, the center of the cone object is not at the base of the cone. We need to fix that. Okay, but we have a cone object, and I'm pressing the N key to enable 3D view properties and turn on the grid. Okay, and the Z key to toggle the shading. Okay, now the thing is I need to fix the origin of the cone. Okay, so you'll notice that in my first layer, okay, in my first layer I have these four objects. Okay, the lamp, the camera, the terrain, and the cone. Okay, I want to temporarily just see the cone, okay, and do some operations on it. Okay, to do that I can do this. I can just hide the cone, hide the lamp, and hide the terrain. Okay, this is one way, but there is another nice way in Blender wherein you can temporarily go to something called a local view. Okay, so this is the global view. So in the global view you have access to all the layers and all the objects in each of the layers. Okay, so now let's select the cone. Okay, select the cone and go to the local view. Okay, you'll see that the hotkey is numpad slash. Okay, on your numeric keypad you have the slash key. On some laptops you will not find this. Okay, in that case you can just come here and say view numpad slash. Okay, um, so there's another way of getting into this local view and global view. To do that, click the space key and you get this operator search menu and say and type local. Okay, so you have two options, and the option that we need is the local view. So if I click this, I go back to the global view, and if I press the space key again, I come back to the local view. So this is a very quick way of just viewing a particular object. So if I just want to see the camera, I say local view. Okay, local view for the camera. Okay, that object will be placed at the center of the viewport as well. Okay, go back to the global view. So if I want to work on the terrain, I can just say local view. Okay, great. So let's select this cone, go to local view. Okay, and now I'll go to the orthographic mode and then go to the front view. Okay, so in the front view go to the edit mode. Okay, and wireframe, and with all the vertices selected, So in case they are not selected, I can select using different ways. Okay, one is by pressing the B key. Okay, pressing the B key, you can rectangle select vertices. Okay, if you are not in the wireframe mode and in the solid mode, okay, the vertices that are selected uh, are what you are seeing. Okay, if there are vertices behind what you're seeing, then they won't be selected. Okay, so let me go back to front. So basically this is what I mean. So deselect, go to solid mode and try selecting okay, some vertices. Okay, you'll notice that vertices that are behind are not selected. Okay, so if you want to select everything, it's better to be in the wireframe mode. So that's a quick tip. So Z key to go into the wireframe mode, A key to deselect all, and the B key to border select. Okay, with that, okay, now let me enable the translate manipulator so that I can move this. So this is our you know uh, ground plane, this red line, right? So let me move these all vertices above. Okay, let me leave. So you'll notice that there is some adjustment to be made. So for fine-tuning translations, right, I first select the translation handle. Okay, move it down and then hold down the shift key. As you're moving, hold on the shift key, and you can move it in very fine increments. Okay, if you want to move in okay, so let's try this. If you hold on the control key, you move in increments of zero point 0.1. Okay, by holding the shift key, you move in increments of 0.01. Okay, so that's something that's very useful. So let's just undo, control Z, place it almost on the ground plane. Okay, there you go. So now let's go back to the perspective mode. Okay, now the center of the cone object is at the base of the cone. Okay, cool. So now that we are done with the work in the local view, let's maybe we'll just scale the cone um, in the X and Y plane. Okay, because it's a little too wide at the base. So I press the S key to go into scale mode and constrain the scaling on the z-axis. Okay, so that I only scale in the X and Y plane. So I say shift Z. Okay, so again let's see, scale, press S and then shift Z. Oops, scale and shift Z. Okay, something like this. And then I can again use the shift key to fine tune, or the control key to for bigger steps of scaling. Okay, so let me do this. Okay, fine. Press the tab key to come out of the edit mode and then go back to the local view. Right, fine. Now what I want to do is I want to place this cone, okay, on the slopes of the terrain. Okay, so how do I do that? Okay, so to quickly do that, we'll use the snapping tools. Okay, while using the snapping tools, make sure that the proportional editing is off, and also make sure this particular button over here is off. Okay, we'll talk about this later, but make sure this is not toggled on. Okay, and let me turn off the manipulator and also turn off the grid. Yeah, basically N key, right, to toggle the properties panel of the 3D view, and hide the camera and the lamp. Okay, so select the cone, enable snap, and I want to snap to the faces of objects, and I want to choose active snap target. Okay, so active snap target is whatever is below the mouse selection. Okay, and then I want to align my object, okay, depending upon the slope of the face. Okay, if the face is inclined, the object should align to that inclination. Okay, so let's see again what I did. Okay, so you first enable snap, and then snap to face, and then active, and then align to normal. Make sure this one is off too. Okay, cool. Now I select the cone and press the G key to go into translation mode, and you'll see that as I move the mouse, okay, whichever face is below the mouse, okay, the selected object, in this case the cone, is being aligned to that. Okay, so pretty neat. Okay, cool. Now let's create a duplicate linked object of this cone. Okay, so once I create the duplicate, I'm in the translation mode, and I can place it over here. Okay, and let's duplicate now using the hotkey, which is Alt and D, and place it. You'll also see that the snapping happens on the other cone object itself, so I can do things like this. Okay, duplicate, place it on this, duplicate, place it on this, so you can just go crazy. um, okay, place over here, place over here. So just practice these options. Okay, there you go. Right, and yeah, if you want to place the object on a specific edge, you can go into edge select mode. Yeah, then select the object, and you'll see that now the movement is constrained to an edge. Okay, if you go into the wireframe mode, you'll see, okay, now the movement happens on a edge. Yeah, so there you go, on an edge of the selected mesh. So just practice this stuff. Yeah. um, okay, so and finally for this class, um, let's see how you can compose your scene, okay, using the camera placement. So let's reveal the camera, okay, and go into the camera mode. Right, so you'll see that the camera is a little close to the scene. Now you can actually use the fly navigation mode in Blender, which is activated by pressing the Shift F key. Okay, or you can use the search operator menu and say type fly, and you see that the fly navigation operator with the hotkey Shift F. Okay, it will put you in this fly mode. You'll see this square brackets 1, 2, 3, and 4, and if you move the mouse, okay, left and right, you turn left and right. If you move the mouse up, you move up, and move the mouse down, you move down. And to go into the scene, okay, you scroll mouse key. Okay, to go out of the scene, you scroll back the mouse. Okay, so this is a nice way of placing your camera. And to move to the right, hold down the middle mouse button, okay, and move the mouse to the right. And to move to the left, hold on the middle mouse button and move to the left. Okay, or you can use the D key on the keyboard to move to the right, and A key to move to the left, like in a game. Okay, and once you're happy with the camera placement, right, okay, you can just press the left mouse button or the escape key. Okay, so that's how you move your camera. Let's quickly enable the lamp and render. Okay, so choose render. The hotkey is F12. There you go. Okay, and let's just quickly add material. Now remember, we duplicate linked this cone mesh. Okay, which means that when I go into the edit mode, okay, if I, okay, let's make some changes. So I am selecting the vertex, okay, and then say view selected. Okay, so that's like framing the selection. Now, okay, let me select this and translate along the normal direction. Okay, you see that? Oh, now see the snapping feature is turned on, so that's why all my cones are mangled. So let's undo, Control Z, turn off the snapping, and then do the transformations. There you go. So okay, all the duplicate link cone meshes are changing. Okay, cool. This is something we did in the second session actually. Okay, now let's quickly add a material. Okay, new. Now since all the cone meshes are shared, they'll share the material. So I can change the color. Okay, and similarly select the terrain, add a new material, and just give it some color. Okay, and let's turn off this wireframe and go to the camera mode. Yeah, and let's just turn on some indirect lighting. We did this in the first session. Okay, the settings, approximate, and render. Okay, you can also access the render from here, render image. Okay, so now the light bounces off the ground plane and lights the surrounding objects. Okay, and let's finally turn some environment lighting on. So environment lighting, sky color, and check these two, and let's pick a horizon color, horizon like little orangish maybe, and zenith color a little bluish maybe. Okay, and render. Okay, there you go. And you can go to slot number 2, change this to say 0.5, and render again F12. Okay, so that's about this session. Okay, um, escape to go back to the 3D view from the render view. In this session we learned about the proportional editing tools and the sculpting tools, right? And we also learned about the snapping tools. Okay, so just use these tools to create a scene. Okay, apply the materials to the objects, and just create a simple image. Okay, and we'll continue in session number 4 with more modeling features. Okay, thank you.